Russians are bombing schools, hospitals, apartment buildings, ambulances, and critical infrastructure that supplies millions of Ukrainians with drinking water and heating that helps them keep from freezing to death. That from the Secretary of State Tony Blinken today as we witness this, and as Vladimir Putin intensifies his violent onslaught against civilian targets in major Ukrainian cities. He is killing the people on purpose. This is a university building burning and crumbling in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city near the Russian border. And take a look at this. This is video from a town just west of Kyiv, Ukraine's capital. It purportedly shows two fighter jets screaming overhead before that massive explosion you heard rocked the neighborhood. These are images from the same war-torn town today. The United Nations Human Rights Watchdog reports there have been at least 752 civilian casualties across Ukraine so far, with at least 227 people killed, including 15 children. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Putin's brutal assault is beyond humanity.
They all have orders to erase our history, erase our country, erase us all.
More than 80% of the Russian forces that massed on Ukraine's borders are now inside Ukraine. That's according to a senior Pentagon official. All the orange you see here on this map, the Pentagon says is Russian-occupied territory. The Pentagon reports Russia's advance from the north on Kyiv, including that massive 40-mile-long military convoy, remains stalled, hasn't moved at all over the past day. The Pentagon warning again today that it might be a strategic pause to regroup and reassess their battle plan. We're seeing scenes of courageous Ukrainian resistance. In southern Ukraine, civilians forming this human wall and building a makeshift blockade of garbage trucks, cars, and sandbags to stop the Russian military's advance on a highway leading into their city. In another nearby city, this. Ukrainians literally pushing back an armored vehicle as it blares its horn and tries to clear the way for a Russian convoy. They wouldn't have it. The Ukrainians seeming unfazed as a Russian soldier gets out of a vehicle and warns of shots in the air. Listen. They're shouting occupants and go home at the Russian forces and refusing to budge at all. In the city of Lviv, near the Polish border, Ukrainian volunteers have turned an old steel factory into a facility to create tools to defend their cities. Here, volunteers are welding together anti-tank obstacles. They're also making steel spikes to puncture the tires of Russian military vehicles. They are fighting back against the Russian invaders. We begin tonight's coverage with NBC's Cal Perry, who's live for us in Lviv. Cal, we're hearing reports the city of Kherson is now under Russian control.
That's right, Shep. The heaviest fighting at this hour in that city and as well the city of Mariupol. And if you look at a map, you can see the strategic advantage for the Russians of taking these cities. They're trying to create a land bridge from Crimea to those eastern provinces that we thought would contain the war. But it has, of course, much widened. While that is a strategic advantage, we're starting to see shelling in civilian areas inside the capital of Kyiv. Just in the last 10 minutes, reports that the shelling there becoming more and more intense. It feels like another inflection point in this war where Vladimir Putin is now shelling civilian targets. The effects are being felt as far as where I am here in Lviv, where civilians continue to flee by the thousands. The UN saying more than 800,000 people have now left the country.
2nd of March. Kharkiv, Ukraine.
Cal, it's so hard to get a sense of what you're seeing and feeling there. What is it like for people? Are people wandering about? Is everyone sheltered? Tell us what you can.
So this city has become a way station. It's a way station for soldiers headed to the east, and it's a port of call now for refugees that are headed here. But one of the more striking things is as these refugees get off of these trains, you can see the war on their face. The war has arrived for everyday Ukrainians. And then you have this city here in Lviv, which is supposed to be a safe place. It was supposed to be the fallback city. But just in the last 10 minutes, Shep, the siren sounded here again. It was the fourth time we've seen them today. And people who normally are just trying to transit through the city on their way to Poland were now running for those bomb shelters with their kids, of course, as they're trying to flee the country. It seems they can't get far enough away from this war, Shep.
Cal Perry, just after 2 o'clock in the morning, to you and your crew, thank you.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.